Hey guys, I know it's been a while, but bodywork, this video is just me doing the final bodywork, the engine bay, and just priming with a car. Next video, I promise it's gonna be on the ground. I'm gonna be putting suspension parts back on. I have everything ready to go. It's just I really want this kit to look good. So like I said, we're going over the bodywork, we're going over the side skirts, we're going over the engine bay, we're going over the gasket this video. And yeah, hopefully, and here's some pictures, by the way, just the wheel fitment and everything, just give you like a future perspective on how this build's gonna look. And I think it's gonna look sick once it's finally done. Hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna be cutting this little section here on the gas lid because right now what I'm trying to do is fill in the gap I've been procrastinating about. Laying a ship, you get the idea. Like I'm trying to fill in this gap. And man, the guy who made this product, he did a really good job making the product, but his videos are shit to follow, man. I just needed one good picture of exactly how he did this. I know he cut here and he added a bit of piece of metal, but I don't know how thick, and I guess it's gonna take me multiple tries. So yeah, only thing that sucks, like I said, it's fucking painted. Hey guys, just update on the gas lid. So, I did modify the hinge and I did modify the little tab here. And I got it sitting, like all I'm caring about right now is just the gaps. So the gaps are kind of respectable for me. So this is all good. So I don't know how I'm gonna present how I'm doing this gas lid, but either way, I'm gonna show you what you need to focus on, in my opinion. This corner, this flange, should be smooth. This flange should transition smoothly, and this flange right here should transition smoothly, like the top corner. And then my idea is I'm gonna break some spot welds here and the two spot welds here. I'm gonna bend this flange outwards a little bit just to fill in that little like gap that's going in. And then obviously the rest of it will be a little bit of body filler, and then it should be smooth. Here's a major dip. So what we're gonna do is there's two spot welds here and there's a spot weld here we're gonna remove, and we're gonna flare it out. And that's basically what we're gonna go after. So just remember, make this smooth. This is how I'm gonna do it. If you're gonna do it my way, this is how I'm gonna do it. Make the transition from here to here smooth and here to here smooth. This is just by welding. This is without taking the spot welds off or anything. Just straight up welding the hinge, and that's it. So yeah. Hey guys, this is just the backside of the gas lid. It's really ugly, really nasty. Like, do not judge. I broke the spot welds on these two corners here, and now I'm starting to offset this. So right now, this is perfectly fine. Like this is good. Like the clear, this edge is perfect. This edge is okay. This edge is okay as well. Now this is very low. So now I gotta do the same thing here. I gotta break off these two this spot weld here, and these two and this one spot weld, I guess, is here. And then offset the top a little bit as well. So that's what I'm gonna do. Hey guys, another update. So gas lid's in. Gaps, even after all the welding and all the shifts I've done in the back of the skeleton of this gas lid, it's still perfect. It's all even, so it's perfect. And as you can see, the gap here has been reduced. So obviously, there's two ways I can go about this. I could hit this with a hammer on the back, get this to stretch it a little bit more, and then just do a little skim coat. But for me, and just making it simple, I'm just gonna fill this up with fiberglass. You guys can cry and complain, but that's just gonna be the best method for this, in my opinion. The most simplest. And as you can see, this is sticking out right now because I adjusted the skeleton in this area as well. So before this was flush, but now because I adjusted this skeleton, it actually affected the tab here. It's kind of bent inwards like this, so that kind of shifted this thing. I'm gonna shorten this tab to about maybe about here, basically. It's gonna sit here now, because right now, if I just close this, it's kind of hard to close because I misaligned it because the tab is broken. But now, as you can see, it flares out. But now, if I adjust that tab to sit tighter, it closes it just enough to get to line perfectly. And that's what we want. And as you can see up here, this is still flush. either you kind of want the gaslight just to sit a millimeter or two inwards. That's all, because then you want the body filler to do the work. Let's see here. Yeah, it's perfect. So once I get to sit inwards, it fixes that and it's perfect. So this will be perfect. All right, just a quick update on the door. So these edges, these corners, I fill the fiberglass. Same with this corner. As you can tell, the fiberglass in the corner. As you can see, it's not too much, but obviously it's a lot more than here. Same thing with this side. Some things I'm experiencing, I don't know why, for some reason, the hinge adjusted by itself. So I gotta figure out what the hell happened, because it's slightly tilting up when it's unlatched. But when it's latched, I have to push down a little bit and then push in. And it latches fine. Like, the gap is okay. Like, honestly, I can't be too anal about this. The gap here is massive still. And that's because there's two reasons. I might leave this gap really big here because when I'm going to release the latch, okay, here. When I release the latch, I'm running into some clearance issues here. As you can see, it starts, you guys won't be able to tell because it's kind of dark, but it starts grinding away, and this is with no body filler on top. So eventually it's gonna grind the paint away as well. So what I'm thinking to do is to, yeah, it's starting to grind right here. Okay, so what I'm thinking to do is I have to take off the gaslit door, but I'm gonna cut into the side of this body kit and just make this into a gap basically. So when the door is closing, it doesn't scratch onto anything. So that's what I'm planning to do. You guys, it's been quite a while. I'm on my last steps before the primers, basically. I forget, polyester primer stage. And what I'm doing right now, as you can see by the laser, I'm lining up my body lines. Like right now, I basically marked this, which goes in line with this. I'm just doing the same thing with the rear quarter panels, as you can see right there. And as you can see by the body lines, I'm literally trying to get it as even as possible. And that should make it as straight as possible. This little device here, it doesn't come with a stand. I just got a random stand and just put it on top of. It cost me $80 Canadian. I'll put a link on it in the description. It's actually really kind of useful, especially if you're trying to put the body line back in. So yeah, put the body line back in here. And then back here, I'm just, I already did the body line. As you can see, it's very faint, and I'm just gonna go with a little sander and just dig in that line and call it a day. One thing I want to do is just measure the distance that you're leaving without the body line on both sides, so it's even. Same thing here, I just measured this out, and yeah, that's about it. Quick little tip. For these body lines, like I'm making this body line basically here. So I am literally putting a tape measure from here to here just to measure and make sure that on this side, it's the same height and everything basically, as you can see. All right, I just put in my body line just for the quarter panel, just on this one side. Just wanna give you guys a quick couple tips when making body lines, because it is scary. It is scary because you're thinking that you might not get straight or whatever, right? So what I try to do, my method of attack is, I just get this, and then I have a very thin sander, and I'm literally grinding on the edge, and I go as close as possible to the center of what the line I'm trying to make, and I'm going right across. And at that time, I do have this on, so I do see the line, or I'm looking at the pencil marks that I drew in like that. And then I'm literally just basically this, yeah, basically that's it. So I'm just put a thin line of this disc, as thin as possible, and I try to make it as straight as possible. It doesn't have to be 100% straight, but you have to try your best to get as 100% straight. And then basically you have a very, very thin line. And then from that line, I get a bit of sandpaper and I roll it up. So initially the line's gonna be very, very skinny. And what I do is get my sandpaper very compact. As you can see, it's very bundled up. And then this is just, I'm literally going against the line and just trying to straighten up all those, basically those marks where I went off a little bit. So this is just to straighten off the line as straight as possible. And then once I feel that I got the line as straight as possible, like I don't feel any bumps when going through this line with this very tight sandpaper, then I slowly open it up like this. And I go back again and I keep opening up as much, and I keep opening this up every couple passes until I get the same thickness as this. As you can see, it looks like this is smaller, so I might have to do one more couple passes, like a couple more passes with the sandpaper to get as thick as this. But at the same time, I'm not gonna finalize a body line yet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get as close as possible to this line, and then I'm gonna spray my polyester filler and my primer, and then I will finalize the body line. Because right now, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell how thick this line is compared to this, because like there's a bunch of colors, right? So when it's all uniform in one color, you'll be easily able to tell how much more thicker you gotta make your new body line. And honestly, making the new body line is very satisfying. I love it. But yeah, that's about it. I guess it's hard to like show you guys exactly how it looks like, so I'm gonna do step by step on the other side of the quarter panel. But as you can see, that faint line here it is. That's the first initial line I drew. And as you can see, it's not straight, so don't worry if it's not straight, if it's zigzagged like this. Just try to make it as minimal as possible. As you can see, it's zigzagged and everything, but don't worry, that sandpaper is what will smooth it out. But yep, do that, and now the sandpaper time. Right, now, I just strained the line. As you can see, I'll try to keep the camera as straight as possible. I know the lighting here is shit, but as you can see, strain the line perfectly. Hey guys, just another update. So I got the side skirts mounted, and honestly they're looking pretty good. I'm just gonna do some little like tweaks to them. Obviously I still need this to sit properly against the quarter panel here. And an update on the side skirt here. You know how I had a lip here basically? I decided not to go with the lip. I don't know if you guys can tell, it's just a very thin. It looks like exactly like the kooky side skirts. If you see, there's no lip that goes into the door. It's just like it's just literally like this. This is how the kooky side skirts are. So I just did the same thing. And what the plan is I'll put 3M tape on the back side of this, and it'll hold onto the panel like this. And when that's holding onto the panel, onto the sill like this sticks out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a screw in the back end of this, a bolt, that's gonna go inside the quarter. And then from the quarter, like obviously this will be open, but I will basically be unbolting it and unscrewing it from inside there. And that takes away the need for putting any 3M tape here, because this will be bolted onto the body and this will be bolted onto the body. So there's no need for any 3M tape. So the only 3M tape I would need is along this area right here. And as you can see, closes and everything properly, it's perfect. So I'll never have any scraping issues. Same thing with this. It actually sits on the body pretty decent. There's a little gap. So if I hold this, there's a little gap. So I think I might just put 3M tape. There's no need. But I know for sure that we'll need a bolt across it. So that's what I'm gonna do. And just a little update on the body, just to show you guys. Here's a body line. It looks perfect. The reflection looks good when I had waxing grease remover on it. Yeah, it's perfect. And I'll show you guys the other side. I didn't finalize 100% on the sanding, but this just gets maybe 90% of it. And as you can see, the body line, yeah, I kind of fucked up a little bit. It curves up a tiny bit here, but I'm not gonna bother fixing that. Like, it's whatever. I might bother maybe later on, but to me, it doesn't really bother me that much. And as you can see, it's perfect. And then this gaslit door, let me just open it to show you guys everything, because it's been a while. So yeah, this is the gaslit door. It still scrapes here. I need to shave a little bit of the lip here. But here's the gaslit door. I still haven't primed anything. It's still bare metal. And as you can see, it's very thick here and very thin here. This is just the way I did it. You guys can do your own way. This is just the way I did it. And let me just close this. Or actually, let me keep this open. As you can see, I already started grinding away. This is where this used to be the fiberglass kit. So I started giving a gap here for this gas door to close properly. So it looks like I need to shave it a little bit more just so it doesn't grind. And let me just close this. There you go. So yeah, I just need to grind away so this doesn't scrape against it when it's painted. But yeah, besides that, it's perfect. The transition's perfect. Yeah, the bottom line, it got fucked just like right here, but it's okay. I will try to fix that before I do a final prime. But yeah, that's it. So same thing with this. This is the side skirt. It looks like the side skirt here got pushed in a little too much here by me bolting it in. So I'm gonna do some minor adjustments there. But yeah, that's about it. Okay. So what I did is I got this like just from any hardware store. I got a very skinny and small a bolt. I just shaved down the head of it to very thin. I made it thinner than this lip basically the side skirt has. As you can see, it's a lot thinner. And then what I did now is I dug out a hole for this to sit completely flush in. Like right now, this is sitting completely flush. I'm trying to make this bolt like straight so it doesn't go in askew. All right, just put the fiberglass resin. Just put only the resin. No fiber hairs or whatever they call kitty hairs or whatever. And before I put the bolt in, I put the fiberglass resin first, and then I soak the bolt's head, and I put the bolt in. And then yeah, that's about it. So that's it. And here, the fiberglass resin as well is just doing its work here. And then that's it. All right, as you can tell, it was very successful, my little method I had. Because look, I'm opening the door, nothing scrapes. It's fucking perfect. Actually, there's a little bit of scraping near the end, but that will need some just sanding. I just need to do a little sanding, and that's it. As you can see, it sits completely flush. Obviously, when I have 3M tape, this will be all pushed on against the panel, like especially here. But yeah, it's perfect. Obviously, I'm gonna clean up this line. I need to thin this line out as well. It's a little thick here, so I'm gonna thin this out. And then it curves a little too much inwards here, so I'm gonna put some filler on top. So either way, just some corrections I need to do. Cause yeah, right now, it kind of looks awkward, right? So I'm gonna fix this little body work issue here, and then that's it. And I just have one screw over here for now. And then here, I just used the previous, like, you know, the 2 holes in the fender or whatever. You know, those 2 tabs, that OEM tabs, that's literally what I'm using for here. I'm putting self-tappers just to hold in place. This is not the final result. It's just to hold everything in place and just figure everything out. And as you can see, this line right here, just need a little shaping. Same thing here, so a little shaping. But yeah, it's perfect. An update on my engine bay situation. I'm rocking 10.5. I know it's really wide for the S13 chassis, but it's just the wheel options I had for that certain wheel is very limited. Either I get like a skinny front wheel, and not either way, either I get a thick spacer in the front to account for the lack of offset these wheels offer, or I go with a wider wheelbase. And that's what I went with. I went with a wider wheel, and I've talked to a couple of buddies, and they're saying that it's gonna hit this tub area, specifically down here. And yeah, I got custom made tubs, so it's gonna look sick, but at the same time, I need to spray this area again, which is gonna suck, but it is what it is. And yeah, that's about it. And as you can see, tubs are really nice. So yeah, this is about $600 Canadian shipped complete. The tub itself is around like $350. But yeah, looks really well. Like he made this really well.
And the other tub is like sitting over there. But yeah, cut it up. Right now I'm just test fitting and then hopefully trying to get this fitted as close as possible. Like right now, there's a big gap here that I'm trying to play with, but I'm pretty sure it's because there's a flange here I have to grind down. But either way, I'm gonna get it all sitting nice. But that's a little update. So my wheels will fit. And yeah, that's about it for now. Yeah, so just put the tubs in for both sides. As you can see, I already coated it with, I coated the bare metal with this copper weld through primer. Obviously, areas like this, before I start welding, I'm gonna grind down to bare metal. This is just, I put the copper weld through primer before, just for the metals in between, just to coat that. So everything else you see here is gonna be grinded down because copper weld through primer is not a really good surface for painted here too. So yeah, any excess copper I see, I'm gonna grind it down and then start welding. Same thing here, just put copper where I think I would not have any area to get paint to. Like back here is gonna be very hard, but we'll see. And obviously I'm gonna weld this section here with an actual piece of metal. It's just, I got a little too excited and cut a little too much. Same thing over here. So basically anything I cannot get metal to, got the copper. Same thing up here, I got the 2 screws, one here, one there. And basically what I was trying to do, what my main concern is make sure all the gaps are as tight as possible. The only issue I've had with this kit is just this area is a little bit big. But you remember this car was in a front end accident, so it could have shifted it. So I'm not blaming the guy who made the tubs or anything. This is what you have to expect. Not everything is gonna fit perfectly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a little metal slit here, and I'm gonna bash this metal so I can get as close as possible to here, and that should be good for the welds. And yeah. Basically this is how I have it taped up and everything. Obviously I gotta still do some sections here, gotta cover up here, but you guys get the general idea. So what I'm gonna do is lay some direct to metal primer. It's like epoxy, but not really epoxy. It's like, you know, cheaper stuff, but this is just for a little area. So yeah, I'm gonna spray with primer, and then right after, I'm literally gonna go, after maybe like letting the primer sit for like an hour and a half, then I'll seam seal all these little areas. Just seam seal it, apply seam sealer, especially along this bead right here, like this little area right here I cut out. I'll put seam sealer on this, and then I'll let that cure for like an hour, and then spray Raptor liner, and that's it. That's the plan. So let's get this done. All right, just finished spraying Raptor liner. As you can see, looks pretty good. And obviously I have some little overspray here and there, but honestly I don't give a fuck. So it is what it is. Like I know underneath that overspray it's perfect, so don't really care. But yeah, looks really good. Everything is covered that needs to be covered. And even in here when it's really hard to spray in there, I got as much as I can. And it looks perfect. So now, plan is, well, I'm gonna wait for this to dry. I'm gonna give it a full day. So I'm not gonna do any sanding. I'll probably be working on something else. But my next plan is to grind this down, put some body filler, just a bit of body filler, and then seam seal this. Same situation here, and same situation there as well. And then down here, I'm not gonna do any body filler. I'm just gonna put some seam sealer, call it a day. And then I think the engine bay is ready for paint. And that's it. That's all I have for now. Next video, engine bay is gonna be done. Car's gonna be on the ground, I promise you. And hopefully that video is out by July. We'll see. Thanks, guys.